I have a few things to talk about. I'm gonna talk about one. I'm gonna get this one has a few different titles. Okay. First title, can I talk about the armor today? Do you guys mind if I talk about armor? I need to talk about the armor that we put on, the armor of God. Okay. I'm going to talk about the armor of God, but I also want to talk about peace. And, well, it's interesting what it's related to. I'm going to talk about the Conor McGregor fight. How many of you guys saw the Conor McGregor fight? Let's see. See, this one's going to be a good one. This was a natural philo. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about, honestly, I was watching that fight. I was watching it with Lending Tips. We were talking a lot of stuff, dude. Yeah, even then, some of you are like, he was humble. You know, he was like, this is like his comeback pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And like, I got real deep into it, honestly, man. Like, in a weird way, I was thinking to myself, I was like, hopefully I never become Conor McGregor. Just because we were talking about it. Me and Lending Tips, we were like, he just doesn't look like he had the killer instincts. You know, he was kind of falling off and all of that. It got deep. I got really, really deep with this concept. You have no idea. And I'm going to talk about that, but I want to talk about how he lost. And, you know, after watching the fight and what happened, I was driving home and I just kept thinking about how he lost and how everything played out. And it reminded me of peace and the armor of God. Because if you saw how he lost, what happened? Do you guys know why he lost? He said it. Even after hours, he said a key word, and the word stuck with me. And then I started thinking about the word. Why did he lose? It's not because he was cocky. It's not what like actually related to the fight. Why did he lose? If you watch the fight, he said something. He said one thing. Oh, there it is. Yes, you got it. Exactly. No, not inactive. He brought that up. Inactivity. Inactive. I don't know if I could do the Ireland. Not inactive. He brought up something else. There was a legitimate reason in the fight that caused him to be weakened. It was his leg. He said it. He said, ow, that dead leg. The dead leg got me. The dead leg got me. Josh, the dead leg got me. He said dead leg. He got hit in the calf. Woo! That's a dirty leg shot, man. What happened? He got hit in the leg. He kept getting hit in the leg. That started having a lot of other effects. It doesn't matter how strong you were, if you could take a punch. Doesn't matter if he could throw a punch. The dead leg. So that's what I started thinking when I was driving home, because I was like, well, I was getting real deep with it. Trust me. Because I was like, man, I said I don't want to be like that. That killer instinct. I don't ever want to lose it. And then I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, well, what happened? The dead leg. And then I started thinking armor of God. So that's why we're going to talk about peace today. That's what it is. Your legs are peace. According to the Bible, it says, put on the armor of God. It said, keep the shoes of God, which is your peace, so you could keep going. That's why I'm saying Conor's career, it's turning around. It doesn't keep going like it was 2 years ago. So I started thinking, I was like, wow, how important then is peace in the battle? How important is it for you guys to remain peaceful? And honestly, the ironic part, and I think some of you could relate to this, the day after I came up with this philo, and I was thinking about it, what do you think happened when I woke up the next day? Because this is real life, honestly. And this is for some of you, and I think some of you expect with the armor and everything, you expect it, wow, I listen to philo. I think of these positive comments all the time. I'm a positive person. I'm going to always be happy and giggly. Well, you think I got a sore leg? No, I didn't. I did not have a sore leg. I did metaphorically. I woke up tired, and I was just pissed. I woke up pissed. I don't know why. There's so many. I had too many things I was thinking about. I don't know if I thought enough about the philo, anything, but ironically, I woke up pissed. So I hope you guys know it is like that at times. That's just the reality of this philo, because it sucks. 'Cause I was even thinking about this yesterday. I was like, all right, I'm going to give you guys this philo today. But I was like, damn, like for real though, I was acting like a little B-word the next day. Ironically enough, I needed my own philo for the same exact thing. It was very, very ironic. So I hope you guys know that. Now, this is the next thing, though. I hope all you know, the philo I'm talking about is visualize that Conor fight. But understand the importance of peace. Like where you're at with a lot of you. And this is what I thought about now, a unique situation that I think a lot of us go through. And this is why, what I'm bringing this up for 2021 moving forward and everything is so you guys can keep going. So besides the fight, when you hear the term dead leg, have any of you ever, do you know another terminology for that phrase, dead leg? Do any of you know what a dead leg is? Not talking in a fight, have you ever heard that term now, dead leg? Does anybody know what that is? I think this is where I get to, you guys are lucky, I'm tight, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit more hip. I could teach you something about it. Not a Charlie horse, nah. The dead leg that it made me think about was with planes, with a jet, okay? So if you ever wanted to go get a jet, you guys don't, this is how you could get jets for cheap. Look at, now I'm teaching you something. You could go buy a dead leg flight. That's exactly, a pilot's needed, but max exactly, it's a dead leg. What happens is when a plane takes off and it flies somewhere, let's say it goes LA to Vegas, okay? When it's coming back, that's the dead leg. It's an empty plane. The plane flies from Los Angeles to Vegas, but now the plane's home is in Los Angeles. So the plane has to come back to Los Angeles, but it landed in Vegas. So the plane is most likely going to fly back empty. They call that a dead leg. Some of you say a dead head. It's pretty much the same thing to the more ignorant people like me, but similar concept. So that's where I started thinking. I was like, all right, dead leg, peace, all of this. And then I started thinking about that flight. So what do you think I'm going to ask you next? Your dead leg. How many of you guys have started something? You said, I'm going to start trading stocks. I'm going to start my business. I'm going to start being positive. I'm going to start saving money. I'm going to get a long term. You take off with that. You're all excited. You're peaceful. Things are going on. And then what happens? You run into a roadblock. Maybe you wake up pissed. You really can't put your finger on it why you feel a certain way some days. Maybe you experience a little bit of turbulence or something. I don't know. What happens? You go backwards. That's the dead leg right there. Some of you begin something, you take off, you get really excited, you get into it, but then what happens? Middle of there, it lands somewhere, you enter, you stop at some place, but then the failure, whatever it may be, gets rid of your peace. Because again, in the Bible, it says the shoes of God, the armor is your peace, and the peace allows you to keep going, to keep moving forward. So how many of us have our own dead legs? How many of us are getting clapped like Conor McGregor? You could take a hit. You could punch, you could do this, but that killer instinct, that peace to keep moving forward is not there. Or even worse, you turn back. That's it. Some of you you're excited. The minute you lose your peace, it's a dead leg. You're going back. Now you're going back to where you started. See, that's what I started thinking about. You ever start with peace, but then you go back to where you started without it? Come on. Why do you get disappointed when you see this FOMO shit? When you see somebody do this, you see people do that, you thought that was supposed to be you, and some of you are letting it take away your peace. And now you're going back to square one without the same peace. So this is what I'm trying to say for 2021. With all of this, you need the peace. I don't care how hard you punch. I don't care how hard you could take a hit. I don't care even if you made it to the first destination, because that's how the plane works. You could go land in Vegas right now. You could go land in Miami. I don't know where. But that's not the real destination. You need to keep going. But if your peace is out of whack, if you're letting other people's success take away your peace, dead leg. You're letting everything, one failure, dead leg. Because that's what happens. It's the difference is, are you giving in to these moments where you're losing the peace? So all I'm doing with this philo, I just want to remind you all of how important peace is to the armor. Yes, you could have the chest plate. You could have the sword. You could have your helmet. And the armor is there so you could stand there. But essentially, if that peace goes out the window, if you're doing what you're doing today and you're not prioritizing the peace, or you're missing it, or where you're not giving that same peace, the peace is really related to progression. That's all it is. That's what it says in the Bible. And in different ways we see it in life. So that's what I'm trying to say for all of you. I want you to keep going. We have this goal of progression. I'm so proud to see what a lot of you have done and where a lot of you are going to go. And a lot of you are feeling a little bit stuck. My question is, are you stuck or did you just lose the peace? Because if you feel stuck and then you lose the peace and you go back, that's a dead leg. Some of you may just really be having a layover and there's a connecting flight. But if you don't have the peace to go get to the next gate, to get to the next terminal, you're going to miss it. And that's what I'm trying to say for it. Because you see all the politics, you see everything with this. I hope you've seen it the last few months. I told you guys, even after the election, I said, I got my peace back. I said, screw all that. No matter what, every day, I was like, I'm going to get my peace. Nothing is going to take it from me. You can't pay me for it. I'm not going to take money to go to circumvent my peace. That's what happens too. I was talking about my friend with it too. A lot of you got to think about it. Everything in life is trying to take your shoes. I hope you know that. That's it. That's why when you deal with negative people, you think it's you wanted to just have fun. You deal with negative peace, it's going to cost you some peace. Why do you think people get in the situations where they're in business? Literally, some of you are doing something you don't want to do, and you are not have peace with it, and you feel stuck in that you're not progressing with your job, career, or whatever. Why? Because think about it. You chose money over peace. You chose convenience over peace. You chose a lot of things over peace. That's what we all do it. Don't worry, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, and I'll probably be the first one guilty. So, question is, man, how are you guys holding on to your peace? And then are some of you trying to fight in a battle and move forward with the terrain that we're in with this business landscape, the world? Life is hard. All of this shit you deal with. And you want to be moving through all that terrain without any shoes. You're not going to keep going. I'm not saying you won't make movements. I'm not like Conor fought. That was the second round. But eventually the leg is going to stop you. I don't know what you guys are going to step on. Somebody's going to step in shit today. Someone's going to step on a rock. Someone's going to step on something. The question is, what's your peace going to be like? If you have peace, good thing you have shoes on. It won't hurt as much. But if you don't, you might be taking a dead leg back. Some of you are going to say, yeah, I had this failure. I'm going to use this one failure to be bitter. I'm going to use this one failure to be mad at people. I'm going to take it out on other people now. And I'm going to go back. And I'm going to start something else now. But now I'm going to start it out without anything. Ooh, they don't feel me. So, all I'm trying to tell you all is keep the peace. And I'm not saying this from a esoteric type of just keep the peace, man. Keep the peace. I'm saying this to keep moving. Progress. What it's even said biblically is very specific. There's no misinterpretation. Your shoes are your peace. And it says that you need peace to keep moving forward. So if you want to keep moving forward and don't plan on going back, I hope you have the peace. And at the same time now too, as someone who woke up thinking about peace and then woke up not peaceful, some of you are sitting in this, you're like, I don't get it. I don't feel the peace. That's the point. Have peace with that. Recognize it. Some of you should call yourself out. Like, maybe I'm just in the mood. But that's where your decision, that's where your mind overrides feelings. That's where you put it on the schedule and say, I'm not going back. I may feel like this, but something good is coming. Find something to focus on, but keep the peace even when you feel you're not peaceful. It's stupid for me to tell you, yes, you're all going to be around situations where you're going to be, come on, things are going to bother you. Things will take your peace. Like I said, there's things that are going to pull you left and right. But it's on your job to recognize that and keep the peace no matter what. But understand, the practical element I'm saying here is to keep moving forward. If you keep getting hung up on things in your past, things that you're dealing with, all of that, it's going to take from your peace. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the point. If you're not moving forward, you're literally looking back. That's your past. So you're going and looking at all this that didn't happen and did happen, but it's taking your shoes. Every time you look back, you're taking your shoes off. So I'm excited for this year. I think you guys are going to do very good. And I know who's going to do good. See what I'm saying? That's the best part about this flow. 6 months from now, 1 year from now, I know who will be successful. The people who are going to end up with 2021 being better than 2020. And they did do good in 2020. I know exactly who it's going to be. Because once we get to the destination, I'm going to look and see who has their shoes on. And that's what it is. The ones who have peace in everything. So success, failure, difficulty, anything we encounter here moving forward, I hope you're ready. And I hope you keep your shoes on. You can take your shoes off when you get in the house. Till then, keep moving forward. Keep the peace. Once you have that, then your other skills are going to shine. I think Conor would have won without the leg kicks. Honestly. So, that's what I'm leaving it off on. I hope you guys are peaceful. I hope you value the armor and don't forget about it. But especially the one piece that is directly tied into progression. Damn. So take that to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. That is your philosophy. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. You're on mobile. Press hi chat. X out the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Second link for the Nightly Watch This in main channel. First link for the Scream Alerts Bootcamp and Real Estate course. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Keep it positive and respectful. We love you all. That's it. That's the philo. That's good. That was quick. That was quick too. I like it.